number 3 as well. Of course, we've still got 2 more series to come. They will both be from the upper bracket a little later on. But game 1 just around the corner for these two. Grant, let's start with you. What do you want to see from Secret? What do you want to see them play?
I want to see them get something different. I want to see, obviously, I mean, 2-on-2 lanes are so pronounced now, so something like a Bounty Hunter probably won't happen, but I think you get Yapzor or something insanely high moving or something. We saw the Rubik yesterday, it didn't work out, but I mean, he showed he's still one of the best 4s in the world, so I think you go something like Tusk Rubik on him, just let him do his thing.
I like it. Black. Vici, what do you want to see from them? And you're not allowed to say anti-mage or invoker.
But Paparazzi loves both of them too.
And so do you.
But
that
yeah,
was why you banned you from ever saying the words anti-mage or invoker on the panel ever again.
Alright, I will not mention them. But what I do think is Paparazzi, when they were doing really well, it has been Ori and Paparazzi really like taking off for them. And lately it hasn't really been the case, so I hope that Lanham, Fenrir, as well as Old 11 can really start making space for them again, because the 2 of them are really the young stars that you brought for their high skill ceiling, and you need to make use of them. We haven't really seen them seen that work too much in the group stage, and I really think it's mostly because they don't get drafted favorable matchups most of the time.
Yeah, you saw Ori on screen. Fascinating story behind him, of course, for those that are new to Dota 2 and just tuning in. Their manager, actually, their owner of Vici Game, actually decided to buy another organisation to get his hands on him, to bring him into the team.
And you can see why. He played Alina against no one, TA, who was supposed to counter Alina, and he solo killed him twice. That guy has an insane skill potential.
I've seen a few games where 1v1 mid matchup, he would just crush it. He's actually the one, you talk about him and Paparazzi. I think he's done all right. Like, he's had those 1v1 matchups played well, but Paparazzi just feels like this dual lane versus dual lane meta, he's not getting the farm he's used to playing around.
Yeah, he's just like a hard carry, right? He's like the incarnation of a hard carry. He's like as close as you come to burning, I think, from playstyle. Like, he just likes to farm, and then he likes to join team fights as like the last person, clean up, get some of the GPM in. Kind of like me.
Not his patch game. You mentioned the changes of Vici Gaming. I think this may be one of them.
And a Silencer first pick. No surprise, it's been very popular today, not just today, but also through the tournament.
Yeah, that's one of those heroes that wasn't popular even like a month ago, right? Or actually no one was picking, and then all of a sudden you come to group stage, one team wins with it, and you're just like, oh, I guess this hero's good. Let's pick it ourselves.
When was the last time a Silencer was popular? It feels like a long time ago.
Like almost never.
A couple years ago, maybe.
It had a period, had a small period, didn't it?
There was like a couple of teams that would always pick it, but other teams would just completely ignore it. It kind of feels like a script meta going on.
Universally liked right now, as is the Chen as well. I haven't seen it too much in the main stage, did see it a lot in the groups.
Yeah. I mean, OG first picked it twice, so there's obviously something going on with that we don't know just yet.
I mean, Penitence, am I saying that right?
Penitence, yes.
Penitence, yeah. I mean, that ability at level 1 is like one of the best level 1 points in the game. You just throw it on anyone, right clicks, are doing 18% more.
Is it 18?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and then 36 on max level.
Yeah.
That is intense.
It's a very value level 1.
Yeah, it's a really intense spell.
Man, and I'm just... You have a Chen, and then they're still thinking, like, usually you know what you're going to pick those first 2, and they have the reserve time going down right now. And what do you pair with the Chen?
Honestly, you can pair anything with the Chen, right? Because he's just so strong. He can get a creep, he can secure your safe lane, he can pressure the off lane, he can gank mid lane even. Like, with Chen, there's pretty much, like, you can pair anything with him, right?
Yeah, this is a bit different though, because I feel like Yapzor's always playing like the greedier supports, and I guess with a Chen he's going to have to, you know, give Puppey a bit more space. Most teams are playing Chen more as a 5, but they're just like, you know, the Rubik or the Shaker that Yapzor will play and get a lot more farm on.
Over 160 career games, by the way, for Puppey on Chen.
Yes.
Lanham Shaker,
I
here
love
we
it.
go.
I mean, he carried him multiple, like, they had few group stage wins, and when they got him, it was Lanham or Shaker. He was nuts.
And the soft counter to Chen as well, with all the creeps. Also, it's very good against Vengeful, because if you initiate on a guy, you can trigger the Venge, prevent him from swapping.
60th career game on the Shaker. It's his 3rd most played hero of all time. Obviously,
5 seconds remaining.
Is the Rubik.
And this is a little different, right? We've been seeing mostly support and core, and now we just have both teams picking both their support straight up.
Yeah, it's like, well,
There's so many cores which it feels like, you know, you can just first 2 pick, like the Mirana, the Weaver, the Draw Ranger is VGJ proof, but it seems these teams would rather, you know, wait and see.
But worst case, they still have the potential to be cores, like their offlane Shaker. We have seen mid Shaker by VP against certain matchups. It's not completely locked in yet, but
you don't pick like Shaker and not give it to Lanham.
Yeah, that's also
and
very
then
true.
on the other side of it, the Venge is not
Dire Team's turned ban.
particularly successful as a core.
And has
either,
not
is
been,
it? So
and it's not really Ace and Mid One who
No.
like to play that. It's not them.
Which is odd because before this tournament, I mean, you go and look at the pub page list. Every offlaner is playing Vengeful, and you're like, oh, we're gonna see Ice 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 Venge, we're gonna see Snaking Venge, and nope, just support.
yeah, mid silencer isn't a thing either, is it?
No.
Now, I mean,
Only against
back in
certain
the day,
seconds remaining.
yeah,
2006 best hero of Dota, yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
We're going to see some different cores though, because that's like 7 out of 8 bans on core heroes right now.
I think that's the other thing, isn't it, Gods? When you do, if you're going to pick up supports in the early, first 4 positions, then you're going to get a lot of bans on the cores. It gives them even more to get rid of.
Might see some kind of unconventional fringe picks coming out of nowhere.
Like Necroforce.
Hey, he's banned, right? Yeah, he's
Oh, he's banned. Sorry.
And he's been
My bad.
not that unpopular during their group stage.
Oh, you're right. I've seen it a couple of times. Like every now and then.
It's a lot. What are you on about? I'm
10 seconds remaining.
My sarcasm button has failed. Sorry.
5 seconds remaining.
There's still like a few fairly popular heroes like the Ursa still in the pool.
The PL? I think.
Yeah,
Radio
yeah,
Team's
VG.
turn to pick.
Very good. They banned the Prophet.
I mean, you definitely don't want Prophet, right? Like with Chen, you come in with all these 3 creeps, you ban Prophet, right? Just makes a 2v2 fight, a 3v2, and all of a sudden, I mean, you're just behind at that point.
And of course, Chen Prophet Venge. Oh no, Dave actually, never mind. Whatever it says, take it back.
They're still
10 seconds remaining.
I'm actually surprised that makes it through because Drow Venge with Drow Venge would be
5 seconds
amazing right now.
remaining.
Secret, wouldn't it?
And they don't even have that much catch for it. I mean, once Earthshaker gets blinked, but that could be a long way away.
And Ace plays really good Drow, sets up mid one for like the last big storms, for example.
They haven't been a Drow team
They have not.
at this event. They've only played them once, and the Mid One played it in that game.
Oh really?
Stage, yeah.
Well,
so,
what did Ace play in that game?
I don't recall off the top of my head, but it was Mid One on the Drow.
I think that mid matchup, Ori versus mid one, I think if you're Secret, you have to give mid one a very good matchup because from what I've seen, Ori is, I think, just a better player than him, honestly. He's a very good player. He's only had like 1 bad matchup versus CCC.
I mean, or do you go back to the other way of thinking about it? Okay, let's sack the lane.
Sack him.
Which hero gives us the better lane game? We know you can come back. Is that not a consideration?
Actually, I think that's smart, right? You just sack Ori middle, then you get Paparazzi, something like a Terrorblade,
Dire
and
Team's
also,
turn
I
to
think you could do that, but I don't know if you want mid one going off and is Alina.
Yeah.
So it's pretty locked in mid lane already.
Yeah, that's very early because
Because they have 2
Very
supports.
early.
Yeah.
Not something that they do an awful lot.
there's like that small chance you do the core Venge you're talking about and put Lina as a 4.
I was going to say there's that. We've seen it played, not by them, but we have seen it a couple of times.
It was just a bit
OG
awkward with
did
the
10 seconds
Lina
remaining.
Chen.
Yeah, but it's weird with the VS core, right?
Correct.
Like it,
Yeah, it would be weird. wouldn't
5 seconds remaining.
it? Or maybe it's offlane Venge.
it could be anything because, as we said, Secret, their strength used to be the hero pools and what they can like pull out of the hat. So maybe they'll surprise us.
Yeah, they banned Arc Ward in first phase, Vici Gaming did. That's not like a hero. You just ban.
Yeah,
He's one against anyone.
I mean, mid one and Ace play really good Arc Wardens. Although they kind of ban their own hero too, because I think Ori plays it for them. He also plays a really good Arc Warden.
Getting in on the clap black.
Yeah. Missing the Ogre pick.
Yeah, the Ogre pick was great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We need to clap off Ogre Shaker.
We haven't done one of those yet. We're not going to get it in this game. I don't look like it.
Yeah.
Not happening in this draft.
I'm pretty sure Shaker claps faster than Ogre though, from what I can see on the stage.
It feels like
Ogre's
about the same stuff.
About the same?
Yeah, but the weird thing is, like God says, if one of them's that clap while the other one's at that point, I don't know how that's going to work. That's going to be awkward.
So do you just take your mid laner here for Vici Gaming then against
Why not?
Alina?
It feels like it
Let's
doesn't make any
right?
difference, does it? You don't want to be up to 5 now, do you? And get another ban on it.
You may want to wait one more pick just because you're like, they probably question like, hey, wait, is Lina actually going
Yeah,
mid?
yeah.
Like, it's not really a hero mid one's known for playing that much.
Radio
It feels like
Team's
a
turn to
bait.
pick.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Assessment.
It feels like a bait. Secret has to have something up their sleeve here.
This must have been expected.
This feels like a puppy bait.
And it's, something like Lina's a support and Venge is in the off lane and some other TA counter goes mid.
It's very hard to draft like this. Like, if they keep drafting like this, VG can literally counter you 1 by 1. And that's when, like, first pick becomes so
10 seconds
strong.
remaining.
And they need to mix something up for sure. Unless mid one puts
5
an Ori
seconds
into solo
remaining.
kills the T8 twice.
Could happen.
Might as well, yeah.
Let's just do it.
If I was
Dire
playing more of those
King's
kind of scaling cores,
Take a Venomancer.
it's just going to be just straight up Venom mid. Even if it's not Venom mid, it's still a good counter for TA, but
TA hates playing against Venom in all stages of the game. So does Shaker and Silencer, honestly.
Yep.
Like, Venom is a really good pick here. Could go off lane, could go safe lane, could go mid lane. Very flexible.
and that's why I felt Vici should wait another pick to take the TA, because you get a better idea of what's coming your way. Secret aren't going to take
10
the TA.
seconds
There's no
remaining.
like rush to pick it.
Yeah.
These are all heroes, by the way, which they either
5
haven't played
seconds
at all
remaining.
at TIA or have played very little of. They only played 2 games of the Chen in the group stage. They only played a couple of games on the Venge as well. Both of those on Puppy, by the way. None on Lina and none on Venom. Where has this come from?
Well, Veno's got the highest win rate of any hero.
does.
Played more than 5 times. I think he's like 7-1 or 8-1.
Maybe around
Won a
there.
game just now today, so even better.
I mean, you see other people play the Venomancer. They've played it in the past, like during the DPC season. I can just remember he's a very good hero.
Right now.
Veno, historically, is very good against
Veno
Batrider
owns
too.
all 3, Earthshaker, TA, and Batrider, right? Like, Veno can just get vision on everyone.
And just disable the blink daggers, even Silencer, you get hit by that thing once, you're half health.
Had a couple of 11 games during the group stage on that back rider.
And this is both
10
one.
But
seconds
what I expected was
remaining.
more like an Underlord kind of hero for VG.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Like a
5 seconds
thing with
remaining.
aura items.
Yeah.
Like now you have 0 pipe builders. Maybe the Silencer can get into one, but he doesn't really get farm. It's a bit scary.
It looks like Vici Gaming just wants to do this. They're going to pick, I think, a pretty aggressive core, and they're just going to want like TA to farm for the first 15 minutes. They're going to try to like 4-on-5 and just, I think they want to snowball this game super hard now.
I mean, they have to.
Yeah. Pushing uphill into a Chen and Veno, not fun.
There's probably going to be offlane Venge and a support Lina, I'd assume. The Absol Lina. Gives him more of the flash potential that we spoke about.
Dire team ban.
What rounds that out then? What do they not have right now?
A mid one something.
They have reasonable damage.
You don't think mid one will play the Venom
Mid one's
mid?
gonna-
Or it might be a Veno, yeah.
I think it's Veno mid if it's TA mid.
Sometimes they swap lanes depending on the heroes, but
Yeah, they do.
not often.
What
They
are they
won't be
what are
good
they
base
missing
hero.
in the composition wise? What are they missing? What do they need?
I mean, you
Physical
definitely need
damage.
physical damage. Unless
10
Lina,
seconds
for some
remaining.
reason, is played by Ace, you have to have physical damage, which could be something. I think PL's still
5
decent,
seconds
even though
remaining.
it's like Earthshaker. I mean,
PL won against Shaker this tournament already, actually.
What about push?
Well, they
Venom Chen is like,
Dire team
it's okay enough.
Yeah,
Venom
it doesn't
10
feel
PS is quite good.
right, though, does
Drop
it?
ban actually, that would have been
A draw ranger.
yeah. I thought they were going to get that 3rd or 4th initially.
Okay, well, they're not going to get it last.
VG is going for Paparazzi
Is there a killer final pick to
Life
stick
Stealer.
I mean, their final pick is going to depend a lot on the paparazzi hero. Like they're going to probably look like
10
if he
seconds
picks like
remaining.
a Luna, you're going to pick a TB kind
You
of
don't
thing.
think they've pre-planned and they've got
5
them in a
seconds
position where they're
remaining.
thinking, yeah, we know what we're going to pick already?
Probably 2 or 3 off like a
Brood,
Yeah,
Radiant team's turn to hit.
something like that at the end. The Terrorblade is waiting. Let me cut that line. We said that earlier, Grant, you picked it out. Yep.
They go for the TB. TB is quite hard to get through against the Chen aggro lane though. If there's like a Chen Venge, you're gonna feel very miserable as a Terrorblade.
Does that dissuade Secret from going down the Brood route?
Not really. TB's not the best against Brute, but of course if you reach mid late game, you
10
have no
seconds
chance.
remaining.
So we'll see what kind of approach they'll take, whether they go for like a more hard
5
carry,
seconds remaining.
like PL. PL is really strong against TB now, and because of the reflection change.
I think PL's the best pick, yeah.
Yeah, PL is really good.
They could go for like a straight hard counter TB like the Tinker too if they want to put Venom back in the safe lane.
Yep.
Choose your hero.
You want legendaries? There's one for you. Played 86 times by Mid One in the past. And picked as their 5th and final pick of this game. I'm not sure what we make of that one. But the draft is complete, which means we need some wise words from a wise man. And luckily we have one of those right beside us.
Grant?
Hello. Well, I've got this side, but yeah, you, buddy. It's you.
Oh, so this game I'm looking at, and I'm seeing it's been back to back lane counters to like the TA to the Lina, the Veno to then counter the TA. You present this Bow Rider hero that no one could lane against it so far on the side of Team Secret. This hero wins the lane by sticky napalming you and having kill threat. And what I see in Team Secret's
10
draft is I
seconds
don't
remaining.
know what hero is meant to occupy that lane. Who can lane against this
5
Bow Rider? He has
seconds
the
remaining.
Earthshaker to protect him from kills. So I feel like this Bow Rider is going to apply a ton of pressure. They don't have the best way to deal with Terrorblade once it gets a BKB, and I'm really liking the way Vici Gaming's draft panned out for this one. I feel like you look at Team Secret's draft, but there's that unpredictability that you guys mentioned. I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be honest with you. It's like, you know who's playing what, but I don't know what the game plan is for them, but I'm ready to find out, and I think that's a big part of their game plan to win, is to surprise the other team, kind of like I am right now.
Good stuff. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to hand you over to your commentary team for this one. It is, of course, the legendary Cinder and Toby One.
You know, if BSJ doesn't know, can anyone know?
Yeah.
You?
I'm confused too, I'll be honest. This was not what I was expecting out of Team Secret when you saw the opening to the draft, especially into the second phase with the third pick, Lina.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, this is a deny pick against Ori. I'm not sure if like who really got gamed by who in this until we truly see the lanes unfold. I do, however, feel like Secret do have one hero that can lane against the Venom. I think it's an okay lane match for Venomancer actually, if you do play the lane correctly. So
It's funny though, because you see
that
the
seems to be their
Venomancer
plan.
and you're like, well, this would be really great against the Templar Assassin. Like, you shove him into this.
Put this hero mid against the Templar Assassin, but now that the draft is completed, you look at Vici's lineup and they're thinking, okay, there's absolutely nobody who can stand against Batrider except Veno. So I think Ori is pretty happy with this. Traditionally, this Ember versus TA matchup, I would say, is a very skill-based one, where both heroes can win. I think it is still the case, and based on what we've seen previously in this tournament, Ori has been sick in laning. He's been really, really good. So definitely one to watch out for to see if mid one can keep up the pace on, in my opinion, his absolutely best hero.
Yeah, and that's the critical thing, right? You got mid one on a very big comfort hero pickup. He's played his hero so many times that watching this mid lane, like, throughout this entire tournament, we'll be watching more side lane than we've been watching mid lane, because it's just been this very standard, okay, we kind of know what's going to happen. Eventually someone will go for a really cool play. But this, just the whole way of play, so you can rewatch this game back and just only watch mid lane, and it'll still be as entertaining as what we're going to see now.
I think part of, when you look at the bigger picture of this game, I think part of the reason that BSJ and the panel seem a little bit confused with Secret's draft is that you look at it and you don't necessarily feel like all the heroes come together in a natural way after, like they have a really strong early stage, but how do you end the game? I think your sieging tools in this case, by putting the Venge on that position 4 instead of a core role, the only guy who seems to really be able to hit towers effectively will be that Lina, but it's a position 3.
Did you just say Yapzor is not on a core role? I don't understand this.
That's a fair point.
Well, they're going to try and fight up on top lane. Start with Dragon Slave, and then the Penitence comes after. Puppey has that early Blightstone, so that's -2 armor on Fenrir. He does not feel very comfortable in this lane as a silencer, but they want the early harassment. They want to keep the heroes off the lane, but Paparazzi, he already TP'd over to the tier 1 tower, so he jumped over the Team Secret interference.
And similarly, Puppey immediately TPing bottom on that Chen. So we said Venomancer can lane against Batrider, which is the case. Oh, nice fissure coming out from Lanham actually, but no kill obviously.
Penitence as well as Gale, however. Batrider's going to be not too happy with this, but Ace has 5 sticky napalm stacks on him, and there's no stick charges yet on either of the heroes on the lane against Batrider. Essential they're able to push out and get towards the side shot.
And it makes such a big difference for this kind of lane matchup. Like Venomancer can hold his own against Batrider by landing Gale, but you throw a Shaker into the mix that blocks you off entirely, and then it doesn't even matter actually that you slow down this Batrider that much. So Puppey probably feels like I have to come and support my safe laner straight away, because the difference between a 2v2 and a 2v1 in this lane is absolutely massive.
This buttons up on top, they're trying to do a lot of damage, and they've got a lot of it. Paparazzi! Popped off by Fada. Yapzor able to keep the control there just long enough. Most of it was magical, but the physical got through thanks to negative armor.
Yeah, that's one of the great benefits of this lane, is the amount of magic burst they have against Terrorblade.
Yeah, okay, he's salving up. If Lanham actually sees this, all he wants to do is cancel the salve. This is going to hurt mid one. You have to burn that last shared tango.
He's sending out another flask immediately to help him in mid. But yeah, this top lane, Paparazzi's got to be careful. The amount of magic burst, especially when Lina hits level 3, I imagine we will still see a 1-1-1 build come out from Fata, but you need to play defensively in this lane as Terrorblade if you're down to like 2/3 health. Your max health is 500, these magic damage nukes, they are a problem.
Puppy's being an absolute nuisance. How many times have we seen him play as Chen? And,
A lot.
There used to be the Harpy Stormcaller that was the real courier sniper, the hero killer in mid lane. This time around, he's running around with the Sada Banisher.
Yep, you can purge off the sticky napalm stacks. So, makes Ace extra safe in lane. It also gives them an additional slow, as if they were locking that with the 2 they already have, but you never know. It's a great scene.
Sting is more than enough to make it difficult for a Batrider.
It is a bit of a defensive approach, though. I think they can actually kill in this lane if Puppy gets a stronger creep, but since he hasn't had access to his hard camp yet by Lanham's sentry, Puppy's a bit limited in options and will just resort to pulling. You know, sometimes, if you just think about it theoretically, you're like, Chen should never pull, right? This has got to be super ineffective. You have a hero that can jungle, you have a hero that can roam and pressure multiple lanes or just be dominant in lane, but sometimes a bad choice is the best one. Like, what options does he really have right now? He has to be close by to his Veno, his big camp is blocked, and he knows that if he leaves him, Ace will just get dove in the tower.
Oh, Fissure on bottom lane. Puppy getting blocked in. 11's going to take to the skies with the Firefly, but it's so much slow. Ace hasn't even let off the Gale. It's just 11 having a real difficult time keeping up. They've got the sticky napalm, so this may allow Lanham to potentially finish the job. He's got Totem available. 11 begins his TP out. They had the creep wave with them, so both 11 and Lanham both TP away. 11 doesn't go all the way back. Meanwhile, Magic Missile up on top. YapzOr going again. The real core chasing after Fenrir. He's got 3 stick charges, however, so Fenrir should be able to survive this with the support from his creep wave arriving.
YapzOr with a big movement speed advantage there. Almost ran him down. I think if he had committed there, this could have maybe been a kill, but risk reward. He probably didn't like it that much in that situation. Still, he forces Fenrir to walk all the way back to base, so definitely a victory there for YapzOr. And we wanted to keep a little bit of an eye on mid lane. Ori is in the lead as expected, but one is, he's doing pretty okay.
Yeah, it's not a bad lane for him. Obviously, with Refraction having that bonus damage, you should see a lot more CS coming into the Templar Assassin. But the fact that mid one's able to dodge any kind of harassment, there's 2 points in the side blaze from Ori, this is what's really going to start to hurt him.
I love this ward from Lanham that he just placed. This is in anticipation that Chen will ultimately give up on playing in that bottom lane.
The courier flies right over the top, and it's the cool one too, the Danny Dem created dragon. I love it.
He's anticipating that Chen will give up on playing in the bottom area and start rotating it toward
back
mid.
For YapzOr. He's going to smoke up and go for the courier.
He
actually had it. YapzOr came in too late.
He specifically needed to have this double damage and enchant totem, or that courier doesn't die. So a fortunate sequence of events for Lanham, but it takes full advantage of it.
Try and take the mid with the magic missile out. There's no wave of terror available. Mid one's real low. Ori with that very fire. He has the life. Mid one to barely survive. Did not take the tower aggro, but Lanham killing couriers. Mid one denies himself the tower. Ori actually gets awarded the kill, however.
And Lanham gets the AoE experience, so didn't really get too much out of that on the Ember. But at the very least, they got the first kill. So top lane Fata.
Yeah, Fenrir, he knows he can now start pressuring this. With the heavy rotations of YapzOr, Puppy unable to leave the bottom lane, this is when VG Gaming can just make more space for Paparazzi. The panel were talking about just how strong this Terrorblade is going to be. I'm wondering if they can actually deal with him if they give him a good start. Bottom lane, yeah, 11 will be able to get out to safety. There are no stuns available, but Catapult's being stolen. Mid lane, Fissure out from Lanham's, keeping mid one in, but not totally. It's a small gap in the wall.
Yeah, I like this play from Puppy a lot. He forces the Batrider out on the siege creep wave so that they can get a double siege into this tower. And 11, TPing all the way back to base, is still not in reach of this tower defense just yet. There's an extra wave coming in. Ace, no Aquila on him, unfortunately, for this push. That AoE armor would have been really useful right now.
Lanham scattered out by the Sada Banisher. He's ready to throw out a Fissure, making sure he's always got mana with the Soul Ring available, but here comes 11 into the Firefly. 4 sticky napalm charges on the Venomancer at the moment. No Plague Ward slowing him down. In fact, Puppy just sends him back, so they turn their attention over towards the chest. Gale is onto 11. Finally, the send back goes through as Puppy brings in more support. I don't know exactly how he's meant to get out of this one. This is a real sticky situation as Puppy is finally brought down by Lanham, but the master of sticky 11.
Look at Lanham's skill build. That's, I don't remember the last time I saw this from a support shaker.
A 1-2-1.
Yeah, most of the time you max Fissure, or sometimes you do max the Aftershock or get something like a 2-1-2 build, but he's gone for 2 in the heavy hitting enchant totem. Very unusual. Fenrir is toast.
Yeah.
No, not yet. He had a raindrop.
Charge available, and raindrops will give the extra protection. Yes, so one more hit will do it. Does not have to commit the magic missile. But Fada is kind of hurting. He had to cast multiple abilities while the curse was on him. So stick charges will allow him to survive just long enough to then pop the salve.
Yep. Drops his Aquila for the maximum efficiency on that salve, and he's going to head back up. But considering how they got the first blood on Paparazzi and how strong their lane is in terms of magic damage output, I think Paparazzi is actually doing a really good job having these 40 CS right now. Definitely not looking too shabby for Vici's cores, and you have to look forward in this game and think, if Ember does not get really strong, they don't have the best tools of dealing with this Terrorblade. Lina can be okay, but the other heroes on Secret, in my opinion, are pretty bad matchups against Terrorblade in the later portions of the game, so very, very crucial for them that they do get their farm going, and mid one is falling behind heavily in mid now. Yeah, 44 and 19.
Vici want to put him down a little bit further. That's why the ES is hovering around. This would be a nice thing for mid one to grab. Unfortunately, he's got no sleight of fist, and LaNm will just walk in, steal the illusion rune, and deny mid one the extra bottle charges. Sustain, he wants to have it the mid lane to be aggressive against the TA.
Speaking of aggression bottom lane, Puppey gets the slow out. They don't really have any follow-up here.
They got Yapzor nearby, but he's not close enough for the magic missile. You know LaNm. This time his wall is secure.
They're committing a lot to protecting their safe lane. I feel like this is not very effective what Team Secret is doing right now. Ideally, you don't want to be this static with a Chen, I would say. It's been 8.5 minutes. Has Puppey moved from bottom?
He has not.
I don't recall seeing him making any cross
he
moves.
moved down was to the bounty rune on the Dire side on bottom lane. That's it.
Generally what you do with Chen is that you support someone to win the lane, but he has basically supported the Veno to draw the lane. So this big early pressure that Chen can often put hasn't really been used very much this game. They haven't ganked Ori. Now they're finally going to take the tower, so this will be good for them.
Maybe that's the objective then we have to start thinking about from Team Secret. Like Ace is leveling up the play towards a lot more now. They just want to start taking out tier 1 towers, almost playing it like a Drow game, just minus the Drow because it was 5th man.
Yeah, you still got this feeling that it's going to be really difficult for them to get that mid tower though. And that's the big one for Secret to claim in this game. They want to limit that space. As for now though, they're going to continue down here bottom.
Dire's bottom
This is
tower
quite
is
the
under
push.
attack.
Yeah, they need to finish this tower, not have it...
There's no way they get this right.
Actually, yeah, 11's still there for defense. I want to watch top lane. Fada's actually up in the tree lines. He's been waiting for the perfect Laguna Blade into Paparazzi, but he won't have it. Fissure, LaNm rotates better, and Team Secret, they just don't bring in the answers quick enough. Yaps is already TP'd up, so it's mid-one. Paparazzi low. He actually finds the kill, Fada, before his own death. This will allow mid-one to move in forward. He'll have to use a spiritual jump. Still no sleight of fist ability leveled up, but that won't matter when Fenrir is steering chain under the tier 1 tower. 2 huge kills.
I'm sure Fada will take that.
Yeah.
I mean, he did lose 2 in, but he's got plenty where that came from still on the Lina.
They've been planning that for a while, and if he keeps Paparazzi at least a little bit lower, it's slowing the difference between the Venomancer as well as the Terrorblade, because it was going over 1,000 gold in net worth.
I think Paparazzi needs to play Strength Treads and get a raindrop, so he doesn't die to this Lina
Good
combo.
Gale in mid. Ori just can't run it out, but LaNm even better. Always there as the babysitter. The old school way to play an ES, but still very effective.
The downside to this build is obviously how long it generally takes to get the Blink Dagger. If he's playing defensively and not too involved in kills. He's been pretty good though. He got a courier kill, which was even a flying courier, so he got a lot of experience from that too.
And he's got a very sustainable build.
And,
This Tranquil Soul Ring, no arcane boots for this ES.
2 siege creeps again.
Dire have fortified
Vici
their
Gaming are
structures.
definitely going to look to defend this tower.
Yep. But do they have the power for
Dire's
it?
middle
They
tower
don't seem to
isn't
have the
gonna
armor
last
for
long.
it. LaNm's got nowhere to jump. Fenrir does have Global Silence available. But the Terrorblade has got Metamorphosis on cooldown for another 80 seconds. It doesn't look like they're strong enough to take a fight.
I don't think Secret's heroes can keep tanking the tower for their siege creeps now. And there goes the first one. The first one will fall now to 1 tower attack here. Actually, never mind. It did redirect to Ace, so they still have both.
Mid one going in after off. They just battle it out. Yapzor will arrive. Lands the stun just in the nick of time. At the mid lane, attempted denial from Fenrir won't connect. Ace is low, but he's already been sent back by Puppey.
I'm very surprised Vici didn't try to defend that tower. I don't think it was going to take much more than what they had. They have their 2 supports in there, just needed 1 core to show up,
Radiant's
put a
top
little bit of
tower
pressure
is
on
under
Secret's heroes
attack.
so they have to back out, and then those siege creeps will die when the heroes aren't tanking the tower for them. But
They
Vici
didn't want to
were...
sacrifice it. No Metamorphosis up, and the Blink Dagger was still being worked on by 11.
Yeah, They definitely hit a timing now, but that's a pretty big price to pay. And in addition to it, they lost their TA at bottom, so that was kind of, it's not disaster territory, but it was definitely not on the good side from Vici for that last minute.
They're also TPing over. I don't know if they're all on the same page. I think it was actually the Terrablader who was TPing up to the shrine next to Lanham, and he has a smoke ready to go, but they cancelled the TP, and Paparazzi stays to push in the bottom lane.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
I'm keeping my eyes a little bit on mid one here because I'm very curious how he chooses to item build in this game. So he's going for his classic first item Boots of Travel
Dire's
build.
top tower is under attack.
I think this is the kind of game where you play the Spell Ember. Even though it can be tempting to play physical cleave against the Terrorblade, I think you're better off just focusing on that magic damage and hoping that the Vengeful and Lina can get the job done in the physical
Dire's
compartment.
structures are fortified.
'Cause I'm not sure if Ember can go for something like the Battle Fury build up here. I think it's too slow and too greedy when you're playing against a lineup that has both the TA
Radiant's
and
bottom
the
tower's
Terrorblade. You want to
got
play faster.
problems.
And you see Secret, they're trying to play fast. They're going for the next
Dire's
tower.
middle tower
They are
is
paying
under
their bottom
attack.
tower as a price, though. Paparazzi are playing that.
So glass over, but the stun's already out. You have Global Silence stopping any instant follow-up onto 11, but the silence wears off. And Yamsor able to secure the kill, and they're looking for more. The Penitent Man, Fenrir on the run. The TA trap will create a little bit more space.
That was uncharacteristically uncoordinated from Vici Gaming. You want a global straight away when that Batrider jumps in for the lasso, but getting that stun out is enough.
Not much good's happening to
They're
Radiant's
feeling a
bottom
little
tower.
shaky.
Yeah.
Team Secret scanned the top lane before when VG with 3 men smoked up looking for the kill. They got pinged and Secret just kept them waiting there on the top lane for a good minute.
I think, so the weirdest thing about this in a way is that this is the tower they try to defend. Because this one is really hard to hold, whereas the mid one would have been a lot easier. And now that they lost the mid tower, they probably just, 11 just wants to use his Blink Dagger. But that fight was difficult to take. Even if they land the global, that could have still gone wrong. Well, Secret are happy to take it.
Yeah,
It
14
costs
minutes in,
them.
they've taken all the tier 1 towers down, and now they look towards Roshan with no frontal position apart from that shrine. For VG Gaming to use, Team Secret feel confident, and they've even got almost all 5 players inside the pit.
This is not going to
But here comes the Firefly 11. He sees what's going on. No lasso available, but starts with a sticky napalm. My striker rate. They can get 8 out of there right now. Too many sticky napalm
Dire's
charges
no
up.
fortified
Paparazzi taking the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. In the meantime, Fada looking for the Light Striker Ray, but Paparazzi is already backed off, so he can kill off the illusions. Lanham, however, he's in a little bit more trouble. Mid-one wants to play around him. He will take the stun. Sleight of Fist dodges the Fisher. The Puppy there to help out. In fact, there to take the kill.
And laugh at it. Very fitting. So they do get this Lanham kill, but I would say Vici Gaming are being more effective with the map. So Secret are making a lot of these 4 or 5-man rotations. They got a couple of towers, but this Roshan kill, for example, that kill failing. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, they're going again. They're after 11, maybe with that side blade attack. With the meld on to Yamsor. Puppy thought it was dangerous. That's why he's sending Yamsor back, but Ace can use that to tank these psionic traps.
You got to be careful when you're playing a lineup like this of Secrets. A classic trap to fall into is just, oh, we're strong at 5-manning, let's just go together and take towers. But you still got to be effective on the map. The Terrorblade has played uncontested at bottom for quite a while. He almost managed to grab that bottom tier 2 tower before Fasa rotated in. So you're moving as a group of 4 or 5, whereas the enemy team is like semi-defending with 2 and farming with 3 cores at the same time. And your map efficiency just, you look at the experience, it does tell a story. If Secret are not getting these, like you look at the gold, right? They have a marginal lead, but they've also taken 2 additional towers compared to the Dire side. So just in raw farm on the map, Vici Gaming are getting more.
Bottom lane hits the combination, and he's almost got enough damage to kill up Terrorblade. Wanted to back off just in case of Sunder. But even with the extra amplification,
Very close from Fata with that Aether Lens. Got the range on the stun. He will TP. Oh.
just before. Blink Knack was on cooldown, that's what got him so close.
And now we kind of have this mirror where it's the Vici Gaming side that we're moving around with a lot of heroes trying to assist Paparazzi on the right side. They don't find anything, and Secret are now pushing out both top and mid. And this game will be a lot about this because Vici Gaming's timing hasn't really kicked in yet. They want this Deso and maybe even a BKB on Ori. They want Terrorblade to get his BKB and perhaps even a secondary damage item before they truly want to fight. And this is my concern for Secret. Are they getting enough done? When these BKBs come out, what do they have? Where's their damage going to come from? And I'm saying that even if the Ember went a physical build, I still think they would have the same problem at this timing. So You got to try to get something done, but
Things are coming out.
Vici see
VG
this.
Gaming knows something is up. They're going to blink lasso. Then you find Fada. There's your global silence. No follow-up, and Fada's instantly dead. Buyback is available for him. As now VG Gaming want to back out with the searing chains. Control the level of vision from Lanham. Buys more space, but not enough for the Batrider. So buyback was committed from Fada. His TP was on cooldown. It was enough to intimidate VG Gaming enough that they're starting to back up, but remember, Roshan is still on the plate.
Secret want to get this now. There's no global silence. There's no lasso. So this Fata buyback, for that to be worth it, they want to claim an objective or at least get a good fight. The fight seems hard. Puppy is actually almost dead. Don't get bashed.
Play the difference.
He got bashed there. He could have died.
Yeah, Puppy's back
Thank
out.
God.
He's got a hand of God available. He's lending the medallion for the moment. Mid one will now come in. 4 players inside the pit. ES has no delivery system to get his Echo Slam in there. He doesn't even really have the mana for it, so they're letting it go. And the trade-off will be the tier 2 tower on bottom lane. I think you've got back in mana. This is your old Classico trade-off.
Yep. I like this call from Vici to not take this fight. I think they used what they had. They got a Lina buyback out of it. They go and grab something else on the map, and they play the time. And now Secret with this Aegis in hand, I'm just really curious to see what they're going to aim for here. If they want to try to fight this, which tower is their target. You see this very big emphasis on the early game. YapzOr grabbing that early Vlads. Mid one is going for a build that truly does not scale very well. He's going for the first item, Halberd, on his Ember. So not a farming item for that hero, not a damage item, just straight control for TA.
He was on a warding mission with an Observer and Sentry.
Mission failed.
But now YapzOr,
We'll get him next time.
uncharacteristically holding the walls on top lane. The Echo Slam. Lanham has been waiting a while, and the reveal of the Blink Dagger comes to fruition.
If you only have one death at this point in time and there hasn't been too much fighting, too many kills, slowly but steadily, he's been farming a little bit. 41 CS, they grabbed a couple of towers, and there you go. It is a sub 20 Blink Dagger, and that's totally fine. In previous patches, when the bounty runes were better and gave gold to only one hero, this would have been a bad timing for Shaker, but this is definitely a respectable timing for Lanham this game. And now first BKB is already out, as well as the Deso for Ori. So big spike now for Vici Gaming. I imagine they still don't necessarily want to just run at Secret and take the fight. I think they want to play it a little more defensively, focus on pushing out the waves, building up.
Team Secret are going to run at them, a 5-man smoke up inside their own jungle. They were well away from any vision. In fact, VG Gaming, that's their biggest problem at the moment. They have no vision of really anything, and they're going to still smoke up themselves under their own Observer and Sentry. Scans from both sides, and they're both on the complete opposite sides of the map, looking the wrong way.
Well,
So no one will hit anyone.
I think Vici Gaming will hit a tower.
Yeah, tier 1 tower on top lane could be taken. It would take a lot to get through it. They put a new Observer ward down. And you see Team Secret doing the same type of thing on bottom lane. They're both trying to get deeper Observer wards on the off lane.
So they trade bounty runes 2 for 2, but Vici Gaming do start getting some structural damage in now with the Terrorblade. See the defensive ping coming out from Fata?
Yep.
Don't think Secret want to try to defend this tower, however. They're not really in a position to do so. They're going to try to trade off, get as much in the other lanes as they can, but look at their positioning in the mid lane. They're not playing very fast, playing very defensive with multiple heroes, and this push is not that quick.
It's a tier 2
Fata is fast bottom.
trade though. That's why Fata's on bottom lane, and also why that push in mid is taking a little bit longer. And this is the advantage of pushing with a Venomancer. You've already got this pre-established position. Fata's taking the bottom tower, now rotates in towards the mid. So this will be a tier 2 tower trade-off, 2 for Team Secret, and potentially just off with a steering chain and the double line striker in from Fata. Vici creates a little bit of space for Fata, sitting on the back of the being popped up Puppy so low. It was actually Ori jumping into the back line. Ace very defensively pops off the Nova, but he really had no one to find. Ori's having a field day. And Team Secret, they don't know where their front line is.
Really important global from Fenrir. They managed to, I think Fenrir maybe used it a little bit too late, but what they wanted to get out of it was to bait Secret into an uncomfortable position. They were in so deep committed for that kill, and yep, they get a 2-for-1 trade, and this is them fighting into a team that has Aegis, so the timer just slowly running out on Fata's Aegis the Immortal. He has how long left? About a minute and a bit?
Yeah, a minute and a half.
Minute and 20. And you just got this feeling that this Aegis is going to expire. It's difficult for Secret to find the opening.
But Team Secret still are taking a lot of map control. I say that as a positive. It's actually only one tier 2 tower, the difference between them. And that top tier 2 tower has 2 HP. Like, it's like, I don't even know how that thing is standing. It's got structural problems.
If Paparazzi realizes, he can just send over an illusion to hit it once and grab that gold first team.
If you realize.
There is also the mid tier 1 that Secret have managed to defend, so that is a big objective for VG Gaming to get. I don't think they're ready for it just yet, though. Just keep the farm coming. They're getting super rich on their 2 cores. And mid 1.
Yeah,
He does see.
Gets the Searing Chains off. Fissure will be able to land the stun, but Ember Spirit feeling confident. Actually having the Heaven's Halberd already done makes it difficult for Ori to attack once this is on him, obviously.
And Secret, I'm sure they want to try to hit high ground, but they just can't.
The creeps get beat up.
VG are doing such a good job at just pushing out waves and avoiding engagements that are unfavorable.
Are they going to finally take this top tower too and realize, oh, one creep can hit this thing at the tier 2 tower?
Oh no, fuck
Fortified
he wants to be a he wants to
Fortification.
deny.
Radiant's top tower
This is a bit dangerous. His Aegis is out now. No? Wait,
Radiant's
no.
top tower
No, it's
has
out.
been
Right, he
denied.
got the deny.
Yeah,
nice timing.
He denied the tower. Paparazzi's forcing in the bottom lane. He had help from the Batrider. As Team Secret have just camped up inside the Dire jungle, they're waiting for someone to come closer.
Ori is not gonna oblige. Almost did. So what new items do we have coming up for Secret? So mid 1 finished that Halberd. He's going for a Manta style next, so still not too much in the way of damage. Fata rushing a Linken's against Batrider. Aghanim's on the way for Vengeful Spirit. Ace, very tank-oriented build with both
Find
the
that
hood.
target. Ori, Searing Chains up. Nice
big kill.
follow up, and they just drop the nukes. Knowing that the refraction is down, Laguna Blade 100% hits, but bottom lane is still pushing in. It doesn't have the extra nudge. 11's actually inside the jungle, and they're going to TP back right now.
I think Secret want to try to hit high ground. They want to force this buyback. They have to be wary of the last one to global, though. It is still a threat.
That's why they nudge, but then again, Light Strike Array onto the real Terrorblade. They know he's real. Yapto lands his stun, and then swaps in Paparazzi. A quick sunder as well as BKB. Global Silence is pulled, and then with the lasso, they're pulling Ace in. They want this fight. Echo Zone from below. They're going to control it. Don't let them get the Nova off, but they're able to do so. Side of Fist, Searing Chain now. Venom can't escape with a triple Spirit committal from mid 1. He'll get the follow-up kill. And VG Gaming, they've burned every big ability they've had. And Team Secret, yeah, you lost your Venomancer. And you had a big Spirit committal, but they still feel like they can go in.
Yep.
Or maybe not.
But once again, the problem. Who is going to break the tower? The one hero you have that deals good damage to the tower right now is the Lina, but Lina has nothing in the way of defense. So she's a very easy hero to harass away.
Lincoln's coming on the courier now.
Yeah, it's going to help a bit, for sure. That's still so far so good for Secret in that moment, to be honest. They forced out the global, they forced out the Metamorphosis and the Echo Slam, and all they lost was the Veno, so not too bad for them. They will now retreat to push out their waves once again, and we're gonna stabilize toward the 25-minute bounty
They
runes.
found the Batrider. He's going after Illusion Rune. Quick blink away from 11, but the Light Strike Array and the swap. That was connected before the swap came out.
Nice
So
timing.
even once he arrived in the river, still stunned up, Ace wants to keep a chase going onto VG, but it will not work. Reflection came down, and then he was basically hitting himself harder. Misses the Light Strike Array. Paparazzi does not want to burn this BKB. It's already down to 8 seconds, but the Penitence is on him, and the Wave of Terror. Negative armor. Sunder is available. Does he have the time to get it off? He's going to target, and he's looking for someone around the corner, but no! He gets on the far Lincoln Sphere! He doesn't get any life back! So mid-1 is all over him! They're moving the attention over towards Ori. Mid-1 up and towards the tree. He knows he's low, but then he actually gets the side blade hit. Yatsu will bring Ori down. But the cost is high. The cost is the Ember.
You have so many targets, and you sunder the Lincoln. That's unfortunate. It's very clear he doesn't see it, right? He didn't know.
No, it was-
There's no way Paparazzi makes this
Fresh
precious.
item
Yeah.
off the press.
That's one of those surprise moments that can make a big difference. Unfortunately for Secret, though, losing mid-1 there makes it pretty much just an even trade, not the greatest win. They did get 2 cores for the price of 1 and the Chen, so still, actually, I am saying it's a minor win. It's actually a relatively big one. So I take that back
We
with
get
that
to watch
right
his shame again, and you wonder how much vision did he have. They're all like, okay, guys, he's going to sunder, get away from everything he sees, but you've got the tower, and it's just brutal to watch.
How different that could have been if he sundered Yapsor there. That would have been a totally different story, but yeah, okay. It's with the Ori death, I think Secret are still relatively happy, but it's not a game-changing moment as it could have been. They gain a little bit of gold over VG Gaming with the added Batrider kill from earlier.
Everyone's still building in towards these bigger items. Like Lanham's even looking at an Aghanim Scepter, and he's not looking too far. It's 1,200 gold before
Absolutely
he'll
not.
have it done. You got Blink and Force Staff now on the Batrider, so jump in initiation and drag back distance, getting even better for him. And you got Amanda Style very close with Paparazzi, couple of hundred gold. So a lot of almost completed items being there, and the 10-second BKB on Ori. All of this can now be used because Roshan will spawn up in 25 seconds.
The big concern I have for Secret going forward in this game now is that they don't have any solutions to global silence yet. All of their heroes will be fully affected. They have no Dispel, no Euls, no Lotus, no Manta just yet. Mid one obviously on the way to his, but if Vici get the jump, they just get a kill. Secret have no way of protecting the hero that gets jumped, except that Lincoln Sphere from Fata. So if they find mid one Zember and bring him down, the fight is already extremely favored for Vici Gaming.
Here comes a push
And
in
they're
from
going
Spin.
for it.
Eleven's doing the wrap around as the Batrider looking for his target. They break the Lincoln Sphere with the Force Staff, and that allows him to push him back out. Global Silence, no way for Team Secret to really respond to this. Puppy needs to burn that energy right now, but Ember Spirit, a huge deep dive in. Ace is barely alive, but Puppy will get him back out to safety. But it's VG Gaming on the rampage, but for how long? Sleight of fist from mid one. He just keeps going to work, but another fantastic thunder here from Paparazzi. Steals alive and takes it from Puppy.
And it looks so easy for Vici Gaming when they get the jump. Secret without solutions.
And this time Roshan too.
Yep, they even found Fata in this instance. They managed to break the Lincolns with the Force Staff from 11, then he gets the lasso off, and Secret just without options, really. They even had a little bit of a miscommunication where Venge, Yapsar swaps out the Veno as he uses the Poison Novus. The Poison Nova hit nobody either.
Roshan's pretty low. He's coming over with the defensive spirit in. There's your Gale. Sleight of fist Searing Chains would like a kill. Ori's blinking himself away. Urshik is having a harder time getting out of here. And Lanham, yeah, he's in trouble. Sleight of fist from mid one will get it. A double kill. Fenrir and Lanham falling. A quick force stop for Paparazzi. He's clipped. He's got the cheese of Elbow. Mid one doesn't see him. The sleight of fist was barely off target. Paparazzi, stay still. Stay a tree.
Or just TP away.
Or TP away. That'll also work. This isn't the Rubik. This isn't the video contest.
Oh no.
Target. Top
should be
lane.
fine.
Batrider will get himself out to safety. As Fata looks for his own target in middle lane, Ori's hovering around, but that's the Aegis Immortal now on the TA.
Yep. Great heroes have the Aegis on. One of the better Aegis heroes in the game just because of the low cooldown of refraction. You will often have a fresh refraction when you come out of the Aegis. You're not a transformation-based hero like the Terrorblade, so Second Life is very useful.
So here's that attempt to grab Vici Gaming kills on the way out. Attempt working quite nicely for mid one, making this hero work. Understand why they still drafted 5th pickup.
If he could have grabbed that Paparazzi kill, this would have been really nice for him, but
So close.
just doesn't manage to get him there. And Vici Gaming still just in a comfortable position. 30-minute bounty run's about to come out. Looks like it will be a 2-for-2 trade. Secret is sitting heavily on the top half of the map.
Yeah, there was almost a gank on the bottom lane. You saw Ori as well as 11 preparing themselves for the fight. That spirit jump up, mid one saw him on the way out, even pinged him because he went over the top of him. The Plague was being farmed up.
Paparazzi very confident.
Okay, just walks in, turns on the reflection onto Ace, makes a couple of extra copies.
He knows the only way that he dies is if he gets chain stunned by Venge and Lina, since he has BKB and Cheese and the Sunder. So he can frontline for his team. They even have the failsafe in the Global Silence. Manta now used by mid one to push, so he won't have it defensively.
11 has an Invis rune. There's
out of
no sentry wards currently down for Team Secret.
Oh.
And they're looking penitence on the Paparazzi. Talk back in. There's your Global Silence. And Noel, there's the Sunder right on top of Yab, so he loses his life. 11, Blink Dagger stays on cooldowns. The Poison Sickness not allowing him to jump in. 8, he'll be able to get the Nova off, and it is on top of Ori. That BKB's not expected for long, but the Yakko is right. Mid-one, control. That's the one Lanham wanted. That's the one Lanham got. 3 heroes from Team Secret pushing up the daisies. Fata will stick around a little bit longer, see if he can get a hill before this pullback ends up happening. The damage is high and Fata is out. 11 will be able to survive, and Chen completes his own TP.
Paparazzi hits really hard. Did you know? So again, I'm kind of going to be repeating myself a bit, but this is really what is happening in this game. They get the jump, the Global Silence, and actually in this instance, they tried to swap aggressively. They just use Global. It's you're kind of engaging for them. When you swap the Terrorblade in, he gets BKB off in the Global. the execution that Secret need to pull off is almost impossible. They need to swap the guy into a Lina stun and then burst him before Global comes off. Like, that's a really difficult task.
It's not even the way you do it. Like right now, it seems like Mid One's the one having the best initiation just by doing the range harassment onto VG Gaming. Drop him down low before the fight even begins.
I don't know. I think at this point for me, Secret are just facing a drafting problem. They've kind of run into a wall, and in my opinion, they got to itemize around this global silence so that when that comes out, they still stand a fighting chance. If they don't buy the right items to solve this problem, every single fight is going to be the same, really. You can have all the items in the world here, but you can't take the fights. It really just feels that way.
Look, they can continue to fight until the bitter end. This game be going for a very long time because Lina's got clearance, Ember's got the push out, you've got Venomancer who can just build a plague wall. VG Gaming will have a hard time getting in, and the initiation to the base is also quite difficult. Getting around the Venomancer, that was the one thing from that last fight. Batrider couldn't get the jump. He couldn't get that instant initiation off because the Poison Sting was on him. So that Blink Dagger never able to be used, but they have a solution. The man who locked down Mid One last time, and the man on your screen right now, Aghanim Scepter and Blink Dagger for the Earthshaker. He is the big man in the fights.
Yeah, Lanham just needs to be patient like he was in the last fight. Let the fight develop a little bit, find that core kill that you really want to get, and get the job done. And it looks like they're looking for that move once again. So Echo has just come off cooldown. Smoke should be ready here for VG Gaming. Actually, they're grouping up, but not using it just yet.
They'll want to wait. If you look at Ori, he's got another 70 gold, and then a full Bloodthorn is completed on him. With a double damage rune, with his 8-second BKB. They want to have that before the fight, but they still smoked up, and the Courier's bringing it, but it may be a little too late.
Double damage.
They'll at least get into position. Then there's no Radiant Observer Ward that watches this Courier. Every ops from Team Secret is defensive. And Mid One, he's the target in the middle lane. He's not jumping out just yet, but that's why Puppey was sending him back. But Lanham's looking for it. Aegis the Immortal just times out. And VG Gaming, all the timings just aren't working. The Bloodthorn arrives, but the smoke's wearing off, and the Aegis is gone.
They've still got position though, so it wasn't all for naught. They have this position on the map now where they can be the aggressors. Puppey actually, he's gonna lose that Centaur. Lanham showing off a little bit.
Oh, that's a long swap. They go after 11. Global Silence won't actually stop it. So 11 is down. Yamso knew he was the sacrifice. But it won't matter when he has Aghanim Scepter as well. He sacrifices, but he's already back in front. He has the jump. Invincible ball. The VG Gaming, what have you really got left inside the tank? You've got support kills, and maybe, well, this swap 10. Yapzor, even in death, you can't get rid of it. Lanham jumps in, but Fada is the Pershing Viceroy Array, and Mid One will capitalize on it, finding the kill and looking for more. Searing chains up cooldown in 2 seconds time. He's lighting his already instantly on the Fenrir. Manasol, right free of all the Silence's control, and then another stun from Fada. This one's on Paparazzi. You've got the Sunder available, and they just can't hit. Ori's attempting, but he just cannot finish the job. Troll Trap from Chen. Even now, they keep the chase going. The TA traps will try and create a little bit more space, and it looks like VG Gaming can disengage, but Secret showing their teeth and biting down hard.
They did so many things right in that fight. I think Yapzor got off 3 swaps, obviously with that Aghanim Scepter. Even when he dies, he has that low cooldown swap. Got the Terrorblade, and he got the first kill on the Batrider, traded his life for it, but also traded for the Global. So they end up getting this 4-on-4 fight where Global is not available, and all of a sudden it is a possible fight to take, but they need this like really crisp execution that they pulled off that time now. This is going to help. Fatsa gets the Lotus Orb, so he has a way of getting rid of Global Silence now. He was eyeing a Shiva earlier, but changed his mind, and I totally agree with this choice. It was either this or something like a BKB to just break out of it and be able to fight. And the upside to this, obviously, he can help his allies as well if there's somebody else who could benefit from it more. And it also counteracts the Sunder really well if used correctly.
Where does Yapzor keep getting all this money from? And Aghanim Scepter, I know we're 35 minutes in, but he bought Vlad, he bought Nern, and he actually has other heroes on the map.
Yeah,
we'll watch it now again, so that long swap so far in. Lanham able to at least get a 3-man fissure, so he knew he could lock him down, but at this point you've lost that jump initiation, you've lost VG Gaming's positional advantage, and VS just does the rest of it.
Yeah, she got the secondary swap in, so what we didn't see in that replay toward the end was Terrorblade just barely got his BKB and cheese off, and they were able to at least stay alive and take the fight, but Secret won that in a big way. They pulled back from a 7k disadvantage to 3k. Gained a lot of... a final thing in that fight, by the way, Mid One was super clutch with the halberd. That's TA for you.
And they'll take out his army as well.
So this double halberd from Team Secret needs to be put to good use in every single fight. Getting the halberd on the TA before she BKBs, getting the halberd on the Terrorblade before he BKBs.
Already, Global Silence is out, but Fighter has the damage output. Lotus Orb dispels quickly that Global Silence, so it's gone.
Dire's
They were
top
looking for the
tower is under
walls.
attack.
Similar situation to before. Secret actually do have a move now. If they can bait the global out like this, YapzOr has so much work to do in this game, and he's delivering. He really needs to land these key swaps at every moment.
Been able to do it so far. BG Gaming just trying to retreat. Well, they were the ones hitting their timing. Ori is just an absolute beast. He's 21,000 and increasing net worth compared to the top for Team Secret, which is 17k. But what's your effective net worth once the Batrider gets deleted from the fights?
Yeah, what's your effective net worth on the Batrider in general? Look at his net worth. This is a position 3 hero. 11 is poor this game. He has very little in the way of defense. That's why he just gets picked off. I think he has to grab himself a defensive item, working on the Yules currently to just counteract that swap until he gets that. It's a lot of pressure on the rest of VG Gaming to deliver. This Batrider has kind of missed the timing at this point with all these deaths.
Yeah, and it's Batrider who's meant to be the initiator. And Lanham, all his great pitches have been real good, but the only target that's been presented by Team Secret is YapzOr every single time, and that's a target that comes back to life again.
Yep. Definitely don't want to echo that Venge. You want to try to find the Ember if you can. Even Veno seems like a bad target if he has all these defensive items. Ace has 50 armor.
Roshan's and a hood. Ember Spirit trying to come in for that arcane rune. It goes to Paparazzi in mid one. We'll have to cop a little bit of damage for it. Roshan, you know they want to pump in. Both teams not in it yet, but there's your swap from YapzOr. Going after Ori. He'll burn the BKB very early on. It's not a long duration one, but YapzOr, they Lotus Orb him up. He's already going to start to heal. In fact, Puppy just sends him all the way back to base. Paparazzi burns his own BKB. It's a low duration, so lower cooldown. But this is an opportunity for Team Secret if they want to try and posture around Roshan.
Secret are outplaying them really hard in the last 5 minutes. VG Gaming were building such a nice advantage. They had the items they needed to take the fights, but this Vengeful Spirit is just a really, really big problem that they don't seem to have the solution for right now. The only way to really counterplay this better is by just having better precision and being quick. You need to be able to counter jump or ideally initiate yourself. I think if they jump the Venge, it's fine. YapzOr is such a big problem that why not?
Yep.
Go and grab him if you can with the lasso.
Well, they're looking for him. Batrider's waiting there, just keeping an illusion inside of Roshan, expecting Team Secret to go in there. But whoever starts Roshan's kind of at a negative, because they're the ones that are going to be initiated on. And Team Secret, as we've seen time and time again, it's only with one jump. With the YapzOr, they make it work, and it's the way they want to do this. Oh, huge Nova from Ace. He may actually have a little bit more life. Global Silence will now come out, but everyone's got the dot on them from VG Gaming, meaning they may not be able to push hard enough through. They get rid of the double BS, but then Sleight of Fist, Searing Chain, Paparazzi, he has to BKB and swaps life with Lanham. Paparazzi doing everything he can to keep the heartbeat up and they'll shrine. Paparazzi doesn't need it, everyone else does.
I wonder why.
Because he's a thief. He's not, he's the carry version of Arfu.
Well, it is currently a 5-on-3. Secret do, however, have buybacks.
Puppy's in trouble. Oh, actually, that jump in from 11 doesn't really work with the pitch of control. Ori was still there to hit through with the Echo Slam. They want to bring down mid one, but they give it the Lincoln Sphere protection. A quick jump away with Lanham using the totem.
Swap.
YapzOr goes in. He's looking for the kill onto Lanham with a slight fit series chain. They'll actually get it. YapzOr will die for the cause. Remember, he ain't really dead. Now he's really dead. They go through the VS illusion. Ori still looking for something else on the front lines, losing defensive refraction charges. Lotus Orb protecting YapzOr. Actually connects on the front end. Paparazzi can now go big and not home. Finding the double kill into Roshan. There is no way the Team Secret can contest this. They don't have anything left in the tank.
Big
They can
plays.
just push out. That's all. But hang on, Min one, hang on. You did this before. He's thinking about doing it again. Side of Fist, but the series chain. Great try to fight space. Min one's dropping quickly. He needs more time. Nanostyle, another side of Fist. But the jump up.
Double kill.
Press the target. Echo is beautiful. Double kill for him. And Team Secret. And now on the ropes, staring down the buybacks of both Lina and Ember to defend.
Oh, they did not account for that refresher shard. Landon jumps it off and gets a beautiful jump into Echo. He made one big play before that. I was about to say big plays from Landon, and then, well, why not just give me another one, you know? Keep it going. Really nice Earthshaker play from him this game, and now this pressure on the mid tower, I think Secret might have to buy back Fata as well. They're trying to hold on to it for now and let mid one do the damage, but
They're very worried, but Lanham, he is waiting in the wings. Mortification, trying to buy more time for Team Secret just to get rid of this free wave, but there's your fissure. They start with a reflection. Global Silence, mid one will break free thanks to the Manta Star, but it won't stop Bat Rider. 11, he jumped in, he pulled him down. Jackson will be there for the save. Again, having to sacrifice himself for the greater good, and they go instantly into the illusion. No double yappy.
that has made a big difference of Vici actually, that they started killing this damn Venge illusion when Venge dies. The secondary and tertiary swamps have been a really big problem, so get rid of them as fast as you can. No buyback on him, it's still a 5-on-3. There's Aegis available.
The Plague Wars, Paparazzi, the control isn't there. With a buyback from Lina, Vici Gaming, they got the victory they wanted. They are hurting the bank of Team Secret.
Bam, look at these graphs. It's actually the dip that we just had. It's about 10,000 gold in 2 minutes. And now they're going to grab the shrine too. Paparazzi, thanks for the health to Fenrir. He's just going to earn himself up. Paparazzi did go for the Sunder cooldown talent instead of the Metamorphosis range, so only a 5-second cooldown on that Sunder.
This is what Team Secret need to have happen though. Mid one instantly jumped down to the bottom lane. This lane has always been pushing in and is reaching the tier 3 tower consistently. There's a nice double damage rune on bottom river too to help it out. But they need to start making VG Gaming look behind themselves. It's not Araxing yet. So Team Secret can play the momentum game because they can't play the team fight game. That TA as well as Terrorblade, 26,000 net worth each compared to the 18k of the Ember Spirit, who's doing the best he can to keep things alive.
I love the way, by the way, that Vici set up that earlier fight. It looked like, so they basically baited mid one to use the Manta with the global, and he jumped away, and Batrider was on top of the Remnant down there. That was a very, very complex play, actually, to set up. And the swap from Yap obviously did save him, but he paid his life for it, and that, in the end, forced them to use the Lina buyback. So that chain of events cost them a Lina. Basically, a Lina buyback and the vengeful kill on the Ember, and they still got the tier 3, so the top shrine down, they're going to go for the bottom shrine, and they still have both Aegis and Cheese. I don't think Vici are going to stop, slow down the tempo at this point.
11, he's going to find another target, and it's Puppey. Pulling back the Sentinel, we're going to get the stun, but Ori's moving over. A secondary stun. Puppey, he's got some distance. Ghost Scepter's available for him. The Nullifier flies out from Ori. It'll cancel off the Ghost Scepter, and mid one wanted to help out. Came a little too late, however.
That was so good from Puppey. That was perfect, but still not enough.
He tried.
Maybe it was not so good that he got caught. You could argue that, but under the conditions, that was a
exact position. There's a 12% chance, according to Dota Plus, that Team Secret is still in this, so they are most definitely the underdogs.
I think the 12% is on Ember right now.
Yep.
He needs to get really, really big so he can start killing these heroes off later on.
He's got protection too. He's going to get rid of that Aquila and get the Lincoln Sphere. So that jump in you saw from Batrider previously can't happen again.
Yeah. It's a very defensive approach, right? It still feels like Secret just don't have enough damage in the tank, so they have to kite the BKBs. And we're reaching that stage when, during the BKBs, Vici can just get a lane of racks. Like, this Terrorblade and this TA hits so damn hard with all that minus armor too, which is currently sitting in the backpack, but will come out soon enough.
He's
when
got
the Aegis drops.
Nullifier is more important with the Bloodthorn, but
okay.
He'll swap back in again. Light Striker Ray, Global Silence is out, but they have the damage to get the kill. As the Gem True Sight also lost for VG Gaming, and mid one wants to fight. He's gone Disco Ember.
Sometimes you just want a bounty room, man. Sometimes you just want a blind bounty room at 45 with all the enemy heroes missing. And most of the times you die. So, and they even use global.
An Alchemist, it would have been working.
He didn't even get it.
Oh, mid one can push out the bottom lane. VG Gaming, what do you do now? You got your Batrider on the sidelines for a bit. Do you just stay your blade? But it burns your Aegis Immortal timing on the Templar Assassin. This is also about to go, now that I say that. Yep, there it is. Aegis Immortal is reclaimed. They
still have the cheese
on Paparazzi.
Yep, and he has a Daedalus on the way, I do believe this is. Or is it an MKB? It's an MKB. So, we'll be getting that in against the two Halberds. Good choice.
So much damage still from VG Gaming.
Yeah.
And now you start to question, like, do these Halberds still do the job? Maybe they do once the BKBs wear out.
They do.
And you stop TA from attacking, you stop Paparazzi from attacking.
Well, especially if Secret get the jump, and they definitely do.
Searing Chains, Ori, he's going to just refraction and walk away. How many of these team fights can we have Puppey just trying to put the fear into Ori. Tossing the penitence, but Batrider is up, and you see him already coming in 11. He's been the big key play maker for VG Gaming. Now we're going to reposition it from Ace. That needs to come out before this fight begins. The milliseconds coming on the Corey, but the fight's already begun. The jump in from 11. He found Yankee. They'll pull him in, but now they're trapped inside the river. Not exactly where they wanted to be. The Halberd stops the attack. Puppey is still in trouble with the attack coming from the hillside. They need to keep him alive. Yapsor is a 1-for-1 trap and a huge one. It's the ES count. He is the king of life. He needs to get involved in this fight, and maybe he will have enough. Chasing after Fada. Lotus Orb is protecting him for the moment. Side of Fitzurian change from mid one, trying to keep the control up. Begins his TP, and the Lion Strike array from Fada. The perfect chaining of control allows them to back off. Somehow the two Puppies survive this attack.
Again, it's all about Halberd, man.
They're going again.
The Venge stayed alive.
Ori's ready. There's the jump in, the sleight of fist, steering chain to the work, and then Ori pushed away. Remember, he doesn't have the Aegis of the Immortal.
Halberd again.
Free Paparazzi swaps like went for mid one. He wants to kill a Paparazzi. Maybe they can get both. Paparazzi's on the retreat. 270 HP is still a lot because the bar looks low. He's got 2.8k life for VG Gaming. What is going on here?
This Halberd, or these Halberds rather, but I think in both instances in that last fight, it was mid one. Getting the first one when they get the jump from VG Gaming, getting that Halberd out on the TA, and then the second jump here. TA just can't fight back for so long, and the Halberds are definitely doing work. Wonder if we're going to see a change up in item build, just getting a Linkins or something on this TA, because she's struggling.
Fada's beating into the tower. The top tower goes down to half-life. But VG Gaming, they'll hold true. A Blink Dagger is purchased up from Paparazzi.
Is a really big item in this game. You feel like these fights are all about just secret kiting and delaying the BKBs, but if Paparazzi can jump into the middle of all of them, cast Reflection, and just start laying into them, they will get ahead in the fight, and that's what they want to be. Just get that small advantage so that the TA can jump in with confidence and use that BKB aggressively and not be halberded while it's running.
If they can get that, maybe Lanham can finally start having that space that he's been almost begging for. Team Secret locked him down. They took away that big team fight controller that has been really problematic for Mid One. And Mid One also wants to fight. Arcane Rune bottled up. They look towards that top tower, see if they can get a shrine of their own, but VG Gaming already in position. A fresh Yule scepter onto 11, so finally, he started working on that about 20 minutes ago. He's now completed it. Takes towards the sky, they ping him out, they see him.
They want to get the swap. Yapsor is going to look for it the whole time. The very low cooldown wave of Terror with the talent. Just always on the hunt for this Batrider.
Mid One has to keep the other lanes pushed in, so he'll BT out. Very good way of actually running this global pressure. Chen can send Mid One back at any time and then just BT out towards the lanes. But they can be very, very efficient with the Ember Spirit, not to mention his Spirit jumps. Team Secret, Spirit up, Spirit down. Not where he really wanted to be.
They're in a good aggressive position on the map though. They're behind on gold, and VG Gaming obviously still have that cheese that they've now given to Lanham, but if Secret get the right position and they get to initiate up on this high ground, it's a lot harder for VG Gaming to counterplay. They will try to fish for information here with the psionic traps,
Secret
but
don't want to fight yet. They smoke up, but they need to back out. Mid One is not there ready to fight. He wants to go over and pick up this Lincoln Sphere before the fight begins, but it won't happen. Lanham jumps down, he'll find the invisible blocking Puppey in the river, and Paparazzi, he just goes full steam right over on top of Fada, protected a little bit by the Lotus Orbs, and Paparazzi he just wants to kill off Fada, but Yapsor's in there for the top of Paparazzi. There's just so much of him. He takes the man style, killing off double down, and they track back in. It is just one by one. VG Gaming killing off Secret. They'll find down the illusion too, so goodbye the extra ones. The buybacks have to start coming in. Fada will start his. Mid One's already left the fight. He's pushing out the top lane. They look towards Roshan, and surprise, surprise, the big man is here.
what a big payoff from that Blink Dagger for Paparazzi. Perfect item choice in this situation. Really gave them what they needed in that fight. Fenrir at 1 HP.
30 HP. Mid One actually potentially, if you get that sleight of fist, Fenrir would be dead right now. And I still cannot believe that going into that fight, Mid One didn't have his Lincoln Sphere. They forced the issue.
Yep.
They actually pulled Mid One back into the fight, saying, don't do it. But 4 catapults on bottom lane, I think someone has to go down and deal with this.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Another detail about that fight, well, it's not really a detail. There's no Echo Slam used by Lanham in that engagement, so he has 2. if there's a fight right now. The second Refresher Shard has now been claimed. He has a lot of mana in his item build on the Shaker, so not going to be a problem for him. And here we see it. Really nice fissures to start it off. And this blink, triple reflection. And Secret just have to run away, but they can't.
Yeah.
And getting that Vengeful Illusion is really, really strong for the Terrorblade as well.
I think it was actually one of the first fights you actually see VG Gaming saying, well, you know, Yapzor isn't the first one we'll kill off, but that's because they had Father. He has been such a nuisance throughout every single one of these fights. But this is VG Gaming now just out positioning Team Secret.
Speaking of position, Paparazzi can barely move when he's chained for 4 seconds. He's moving a little bit.
Oh.
And running down.
Yule Scepter up, looking up towards the top lane. It's Puppey who's in trouble. Support's coming in from the ES.
Oh, yes,
as
yeah.
well as from the Ember Spirit. And the Gem of True Sight is dropped. I don't think 11 really noticed it. Either that or he's looking for more kills straight away.
I don't think they realize, but that gem is going to be very difficult for Secret to recover. It's in such an awkward spot. They could maybe send out the courier all the way across the left side and grab it. For now, they are definitely hesitating to do that. Want to see the heroes first of VG Gaming.
You're finally getting that Battle Fury build in for mid one. You asked yourself very early on if you get it, and 52 minutes in, he starts to build it.
Yeah, they have damage problems, and I think, so, as I said at the time, I think if he rushed the Battle Fury, it would have probably backfired. But at some point, you're going to need to get this physical damage late in the game. They just don't have what it takes to kill off the
Can they actually push this bottom?
VG heroes.
You've got Yapzor as well as mid one, though. Then the wave of terror. Quick slide of fist will burn through most of the wave. And they just want the tier 3 tower. He'll jump out and they'll leave the VS illusion to finish the job. So yeah, tier 3 tower will take it. Shrines open up.
Playing a split game with Ember, something mid one is very adept at. Don't think they're in any position to reach these shrines anytime soon, though.
Yep.
They are very cornered in their base, but it's still a step in the right direction for Secret.
Secret, where are these lines drawing? This is VG Gaming saying, let's go in through the bottom. While Yapzor is circling up on the northern side.
Moon Shard for Ori. Eat that up straight away.
They're actually starting to run out of item slots on these two cores of VG Gaming. You're 53 minutes in, everyone should be pretty well stacked. He's going in for Refresher off next, so it's all about just redoing utility.
That item is so good on Terrorblade late game. Having secondary metamorphosis, having, if necessary in the fights, the double reflection, but it's already such a low cooldown, so I don't think you really ever want to refresh that, but double BKB, double Manta, double metamorphosis is really what it's all about.
But how does VG actually get up this hill? They have to go through the Plague Wards, they have to go through the Sleight of Fist, which does put mid one into a bad position. And this will be even worse once Ace is able to hit that 3 times Plague Ward. If he can hit 25.
That will take a while.
It will take a bit, especially when he cannot leave his base.
He is so far away. He is so under leveled, actually. Level 20, minute 54
That's fine.
on the safety hero.
22.
Yeah.
And then you get, what's his up? Is he going to start piercing immunity? Paparazzi, double damage room. That's one scary Terrorblade.
Oh, look
I'll disarm him because he doesn't have the BKB. So hey, isn't that a nice thing to have? And they can just chain the halberds. Ace purchased up his own one. So Paparazzi sends in the illusion to beat in. They're going for the melee ranks, but yet with no lasso, they found the target. Global Silence is out, and they pull him far enough away. Ace, he's still not down. He will go down. 2 deep. Yes, no more than on the air. The aggressor was building to Puppey, however, so he'll fall with Vada. The same Yapzor. A huge shot, the illusion. Vada dies on the steps of the palace. Team Secret, they want to come out. They fall back on the VS and the Venom. They need to find these pickups.
Oh, Midway failed it.
It doesn't actually go onto Ori.
He failed the chains. He cast them too early. He might have been able to get a chain there on Ori. Ori's thinking about it. He has the Aegis still, but no BKB.
It's 55 minutes. Collect your bounty runes, collect your senses.
Oh, a
And
bottle.
then think about coming back in again.
Ori rediscovers his bottle in the pit. So, oh, yeah, I forgot about this one.
Oh, I can actually get multiple charges out.
So that is a hold from Secret, but it is an expensive one. We see it here.
Here is that hold. So it starts off with the Batrider initiation.
Swap, but the last attack from Paparazzi does follow him into the base, and they do kill the Lina.
We never
in
get
the
to
end.
stop. Mid one, he's right on top of 11, gets steering chains off. You also have to dispel. Mid one wants to keep the fight going, however, as 11 jumps on down. Ori's in the neighborhood. Mid one looking for triggers. He bounces out, then straight back, hitting it with a side of fist. He actually gets the kill, but then again, how deep is he? Ori, there's the swamp out, and he's going to find himself an invis room. So doesn't want to stop going with side of fist as Vengeful Spirit. Okay, mid one is going to be safe. don't have detection, so mid one stays with him. He wants Fenrir. Spirit committal forward. Fenrir's got the one chance to battle and win. And the Spirit goes the old-fashioned way. Two gems as we got the line looking for the finish hit. And he'll connect. Mid one's in trouble. He'll Manasal. Try and pop back out. This one side of fist. Dodges the attack. No, Jari! Triple kill, 4 and 5 extra available. As Chen Hubby walks into the middle of the fight. 3 heroes. That's not where Chen wants to be. Nullified up.
Double kill.
Down. VG Gaming, they got 5 kicking. Team Secret, they've only got 1 with a buyback. And he instantly has to use it. Create the space.
This hold is going to be so difficult. Lanham can use his cheese. Has another Echo Slam ready now. Obviously didn't even use it in that last engagement. I think he had it on cooldown. So a 5-on-3 with everything on the side of Vici Gaming ready to go except Lasso, which is in 20 seconds. That's more than enough time before Venge and Chen spawn. So here we go.
Yep, up comes Paparazzi. Refresher Orb is ready to be used. So never-ending metamorphosis. And they fortify, buy some time. Mid one, protected by the Lincoln Spear, gets the side of fist. They want to try and kill off the Earthshaker. Remember, he's still got the cheese. Paparazzi goes down for the second lane of Frax, taking the tier 3 tower on the bottom lane for the lasso. It's there for the Batrider. He doesn't get out, however. Fada had the BKB to protect him, and Batrider is dropping quickly. The global silence is making it difficult to find. They can't get the Nova off from the Venomancer. Ace will fall without getting the Nova off. It does not have buyback to blend in its engagement. You still have the big DPSs up in mid one as well as Fada, but it does not matter. VG Gaming are so strong, they've already taken the second lane of Rax. Paparazzi, he's got Thunder and Bubble. They're going to commit forward. And was ready for it. 3 heroes down. They come back in again. The door is wide open for VG Gaming.
And it looked like they really wanted Secret to chase them there. They could have tried to play it a little more aggressively, but this bait play works out so much better. Basically get mid one to jump into the middle of them, and a very easy echo there for Lanham when you're so quick.
Yamsor
Gets them the mega.
in Fada. I don't think there's communication. They'll get the stun over on the Yamsor. He'll have the extra spirit, but look at him just focus it down. This is all up to Fada, and I do not